All right, welcome everybody. Looks like we should be good to go. Hey, welcome to Collapsing with Casey. Sorry for a little bit of an absence. Moving, doing a lot of moving. Sold the house. Um, Last Friday, I actually during this hour, I screwed up the time, and it wound up that had scheduled myself for an interview, which is now up. So go check out the interview. I was interviewed by the Right to No Longer Exist. They're on YouTube as well, so check them out. They've been on this channel before, and this is my first time appearing on their channel as a guest. I think it went really well. Right to No Longer Exist folks are pretty awesome people, man. They hit the nail on the head with the whole right to die movement, and it seems like just one little, there's that's what they're all about. It's one item in what is a list of so many things that that for human rights people are due. Um, and so when I listen to these podcasts, I'm like, how can we keep saying this? How can we really expand on what we're talking about much more to keep from repeating ourselves, being a broken record? Because like I was saying, it's just kind of one really line item on a list of line items of human rights that were denied. But man, there are so many great points that they make, others make, other guests that they have on make. So the conversation is always evolving. And so it was a real treat to be on their channel. I really appreciate them for that, and their friendship. With Collapsing with Casey, my channel here. Whew, I kind of got choked up a little bit a couple of times talking about collapse and near-term memory extinction, because I don't think they're really aware as many of us are on that subject. So you when I talk to you guys, even if you've never talked to me on the phone or zoomed privately with me or anything like that, I can usually kind of keep myself together somewhat. I don't know, that's hit or miss too, but I really kind of got choked up a couple of times because it's hard to talk about death and human extinction, like not just our own personal deaths, but the death of all life on the planet. Basically the planet turning into a Venus-like state, or turning into a Venus-like state is really hard to. That's heavy shit, right? It's just heavy. And so yeah, I kind of got choked up a couple of times, but I thought I kind of fumbled my words there a lot because it's so deep and it's so dark and it's so hard to it's just a tough subject altogether, right? So um but yeah, thanks. I so far the feedback I got was great, so I guess I didn't fuck it up too bad anyway, right? um so yeah, thanks for joining Collapsing with Casey. Yeah, a couple weeks I haven't gone live, and I apologize for that. You folks that are really digging the channel and showing love and support and financial support too. I didn't mean to leave y'all hanging. I apologize. I hope everything's cool as can be. And we're starting another. The powers that be, the elites, the rich people, starting more wars. Obviously, with the Russia and the Ukraine invading the Ukraine, there's so much more. There's so much more going on too than just that. Oh, hey, Worker Art, thanks for hanging out, man. I've got the Zoom link posted. If anybody wants to join the conversation, you're welcome to. Tonight's title is "I'm Sorry That I Got Fat. I Will Slim Down." It's a song from one of my favorite artists, Wesley Willis. He's a completely different guy. If you've never heard of Wesley Willis, look him up on YouTube. Watch his documentaries, his songs. He had a video on MTV about Alanis Morissette. And I actually saw that video air on MTV back in the day. It was on MTV2, back when nobody even knew or got channels. A friend of mine just happened to have it. And I was over at his house and I was like, holy shit, Wesley Willis video. So that was really cool. He's quite different. He's got chronic schizophrenia. I should say, had chronic schizophrenia. He's not been with us for quite some time. I got to meet him once, and he actually almost wound up coming back to my house and staying the night after the show. But I lived like 30 minutes away from Atlanta, so it was going to be a whole, process to get him back to his back on tour. He had to leave the next morning, but he had no place to sleep that night. So I was like, Wesley, dude, if you got no place to stay, man, I'll take care of you. I'll get you where you need to go to get your ride back to the next show. I think they were going from Alabama to Birmingham, which was kind of on the way, because I do live on the west side of Atlanta, or Birmingham, so maybe that would have been helpful. But anyway, he wound up having a place to stay and all. But yeah, man, if you're in a dark spot and you need some laughter, just YouTube some Wesley Willis music, and oh my fucking god, dude, he will. If he doesn't make you laugh, nothing will. Oh my god, he's just, and his whole story is amazing. So yeah, I won't get into too much about that. There's not much to do with Collapse other than the way he was treated and ostracized and all that. His story about coming up in the ghetto and his, trying to save money, selling his art, drawings, music, to try to save money to get out of the ghetto. And when he had a bunch of money saved up, his uncle, I believe it was, robbed him. His uncle or one of his mom's boyfriends. He's got a song about his mom smoking crack, which is all real, all true, and hilarious. The song is hilarious. The actual product of the reality of that obviously is horrible. But he just, goddamn man, that guy's just funny. He was just funny, and whether he meant to be funny or not, sometimes he tried to be and it was funny, and sometimes he didn't mean to be funny. He was just being Wesley, and he's still brilliant, funny, and just a gentle soul. He was very scary. He was a big guy, very big guy, and he was not normal in any way for normies. So he scared normies really, really awfully, because of the way he was, his chronic schizophrenia, his outbursts, and he was just a big, very poor street person, big black guy. But god damn, I love Wesley. I miss him so much. I'm getting choked up just thinking about him. I wish, obviously, he was still here, because the more music that he would have written and produced and put out in the years that he's been gone would have just been that much more fun. There would be that many more laughs. Myself and others who enjoyed his work would have gotten to share, would have. So yeah, man, Wesley Willis. I just want to give Wesley a shout out. Yeah, work of art. You dig it. You dig Wesley. That's cool, man. Yeah, Wesley was something else. I want to try to find something here real quick that I read earlier today. It was a really, really good, a really good post. Yeah. So that's oh, here it is. So this is from my friend. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Margarita Elia. Talking about the wars and everything. This week, the USA bombed Somalia. Israel bombed Syria and Saudi Arabia, bombed Yemen, sorry, let me I didn't read that properly. This week, USA bombs Somalia. Israel bombed Syria. Saudi Arabia bombed Yemen 37 times while war began in the Ukraine. Funny how nobody is rushing to change their profile pic to a flag of Syria, Yemen, Somalia. Funny how the US media is only screaming about the Ukraine when civilians have died by the USA hands everywhere, including the Ukraine. Absolutely, man. It was a great little post there. It was Margarita's post on Facebook. I thought that was pertinent because yeah, Margarita is exactly right in that all the focus is on Russia invading Ukraine, let alone all of the other atrocities that have been happening. You know, this isn't. I mean, this is a new war with Russia invading Ukraine, but it's not. It's not like it's the only war. It's the only thing going on. There's so much other conflict, and it's all just the elites, you know, invading the smaller, you know, countries, especially the fucking Israel and you know, Gaza Strip and Palestine, what they've continuously been doing for decades, Palestine. And I could, my last job, I would have gotten fired or could have gotten fired. Anybody listen to me for talking about that? Because in this country, in America, if you talk bad about Israel, if you talk down about Israel and their policies or their wars against Palestine and the Gaza Strip, then you can lose your job. You can there's serious consequences to be paid, and that's so fucked up. You're not even, you know, that's another when people are, ooh, America, freedom. You're not even fucking free to think for yourself. You're not even free to do research. You're not even free to look at fucking reality in this country. It's so stupid, man. People fucking wave flags for it. Oh man, it's fucking so annoying. It's so awful. It's so stupid. Um, Going on to the I think I had yeah. So this is some stuff I wrote. I did try to come in a little bit prepared with some notes. You know, in late stage overshoot, you know, this global overshoot, you know, overpopulation. You know, humans have only proven throughout history, all we're going to do is war on each other for eternal, for, you know, forever. As we rip every last mineral and fossil fuel from the ground, and use entire oceans as our trash dumping grounds, our nuclear testing grounds. I can't even believe there's still fucking wildlife, you know, life in the oceans. What we've just destroyed and overfished and you know, polluted and bombed and thrown our fucking trash that falls under pollution. I know. Just it's just a total fucking humanity fuck show. And I'm embarrassed to be a fucking Homo sapien. Um, it's really fucking difficult to you know, and then and none of us, I know you guys can't talk about this with your friends, family, people, spouses, whatever. Maybe you're lucky and you've got one person, but for the most part, right, we have to fucking bottle all this shit in because nobody will admit, you know, to the reality of I mean, we're just brainwashed as fuck. You know? Our entire educational system, you know, people shit out kids, throw them onto the yellow school bus while they go to work so they hand their kids over to the government to raise their kids. And all the government cares about is that there's a fucking nice football stadium at the school. They don't give a fuck about books. There's no money for books. There's no money for education. There's no money for any kind of fairness. There's no plan or action for any kind of fairness. If, you know, if Johnny from the football team is roughing up Joey in the hallway, well, fucking Johnny from the football team is more important than Joey anyway. So who cares, right? So, you know, little Johnny can just get away with murder because he plays football. That's awesome. We gotta fucking worship that. We built a stadium for little Johnny, little Joey to read his books. Little Joey's fucking, a little nerd. Shut him the fuck up and let Johnny play. Let Johnny have a good time picking on Joey, because Johnny's gonna be a football player one day. Uh, he's gonna put Lithia Springs on the map. Next big football star. What the fuck kind of education? What the fuck kind of system? What the fuck kind of? Well, there's no health. There's no love. There's no fucking anything that is any good in any of that shit. But yeah, man, as long as we got a football stadium and a baseball field and a basketball court, that's all we need for education. Books and actual learning, it's on the back burner. We'll sort that out. The best way that we can brainwash people into thinking that they're actually learning something, that they're getting an education when they're truly not. Oh, yeah, it's so stupid. It's just so fucking dumb. Yeah, I know I go off on our educational system. I might have been, uh, repeating myself there. I apologize for that if so. Just ranting. Thank you guys for letting me rant, man. Thank you guys for that, because nobody else gets the opportunity, and I mean, maybe 200 people watch this and get some of it. If you do, then it makes it worth my while. I feel better if somebody gets, and that it's exactly the way I see it, and nobody else is saying it like that. Nobody's saying it with passion. So I appreciate those kind of comments, and I thankfully get enough of them to where I'm going to keep doing these episodes, keep doing the channel, as long as we have the grid. And who knows, man, it's like the grid could go down any minute now. We're extra sensitive to cyber attacks now, right? With with this Ukraine, Russia invading the Ukraine, they can just fucking wipe out all our electrical grids, and and not even just in that scenario. There's so many scenarios where grid could be wiped out. It's just everything's just building and building and building. It's been an unbelievably short winter. It's already basically, at least in the southeastern United States, it's basically been springtime for a week, and we're still in fucking February. Spring is not supposed to really happen until April, or even May. But no, we've been having warm weather. What I would say consider pretty nice weather, in Georgia anyway, for the most of part of February. But of course, it's not normal. It's supposed to be cold. We're still supposed to be, having chances of snow and freezing temperatures. It hasn't frozen here in I don't know, probably at least a couple weeks. Maybe it's gotten down to 30 or something, a couple, and nothing really cold. I mean, our heating bill is nothing compared to what it should. If not that in context. Yeah. So yeah, I want to talk about that and go back. Oh, hey, Elaine. Just going back to the chat to see what if there's anything up there. So yeah, the big thing for me, from here on out, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do these episodes, because we're selling our house. It's a good thing we got equity in the house, so we're I'm basically homeless. I'm going to be living out of our Dodge Journey, um, and maybe get like a little pull behind, or if we can find like a tiny pull behind, because the Dodge Journey is not a tow vehicle. But if you're towing a little small little trailer, like I don't know, John boat, dirt bike, little bed, with a shell around it, which is basically what a teardrop camper is. that'll be fine. And I want to try to find something like that to tow with it, because I'm going to be on the road doing just going to do motorcycle announcing. That's going to be my only job from here on out, which is cool. I'm kind of looking forward to being able to do that and being able to enjoy it, to where I'm not working, all week, and then it's like you don't even look forward to the weekend because you've got work all weekend announcing races. So now I don't have to work during the week. I probably don't. I don't even have to announce these races because we probably won't need the money, but at the same time we might, and especially if we're going to step up our game and get a bigger vehicle and a bigger trailer, we might do that. We're looking at trying to buy or rent in middle of Georgia, kind of away from everything, cities and bigger towns and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that chapter, the final chapter. If we even get that far, fuck, who knows? I mean, the fuel could stop tonight. Fuel could stop tomorrow. Part of the grid going down with the new war with Ukraine and invading the Ukraine. We don't know what gas is skyrocketing. Just the other day here, gas went up another 10 cents a gallon. So it's just crazy. Obviously, the food shortages at the store are going to be more and more apparent, even for those that are in complete denial. It's just from every angle, and that worries me. I really want to. I hope we get to do some camping and a little bit of driving and traveling. Let me know where you live. Come see it. We want to go to Montana and see what Tammy's got family up there. I want to come back through Colorado and play with things that are legal in Colorado that aren't legal in other states. That'll be an adventure. You know, in Arizona, I may drop down and see. But looking at my schedule, I just mapped out all my race announcing schedule today, and I'm pretty well booked up. There's not a whole lot of weekends I have off, and if there are, it's only like maybe two, not even typically 3 weekends off in a row. That doesn't give us a lot of time to do like 48 state tour. If we don't go straight to Montana, I've got and friend in Vermont I would love to see. But yeah, trying to make that all happen, do all the logistics. I don't know. Good to try to have something to look forward to though. And you have to have that. You have to have something that you're looking forward to, or else it just makes every day fucking mundane, boring, and hard to get through. And many more days to get through. Hopefully we have many more days to get through. I don't think we have much more than that. I don't know if we even have that. Like I said, now with the grid and nuclear stuff, and that's another thing I wanted to mention. I've really, really been thinking about Kevin Hesser's blog entry about using nuclear war in the northern hemisphere to cool the planet. He's so right about that, man. He's so right about that. It's frightening, and that's a real threat, especially now as we know we're right around or above 2.5 degrees Celsius over average temperature. 3C is lights out for humanity. 5C, the oceans evaporate, and we know that we're in C. Even Shell Oil has admitted we're headed to 5C. Definitely, if you haven't read Kevin Hesser's blog about nuclear war and cooling down uh, nuclear war would most likely be, well, it would be in the northern hemisphere and very highly be in the lower 48, where many of us live, included. So it's fucking frightening, man, and it's a real threat. It's a real deal. Um, so yeah, check out Kevin's blog. Kevin, it's hard hitting, and I wish I could say that I don't think that's gonna, but it's quite the opposite here for that. So you know, just getting the house sold, trying to move on to a new adventure. I said we're going to be living in the Dodge Journey. Timmy's dad has a spare bedroom, so we'll have a spare bedroom, but we're going to be on the road a lot, race announcing and going camping. I'm really looking forward to that. So kind of trying to squeeze in some fun, good times, some nature, not any fucking nature and motocross, but in between all that, where her dad lives, where we'll be basically stationed. Our address will be, course, swamp in South Georgia, North Florida line area. Oh, we're going to be at Savannah, and there's islands out there off that are, there's island out there that's got a lot of rattlesnakes. We can to go out there. You find a wild diamondback rattlesnake. Well, for us, just stuff like that. And if anybody that that you can talk into quitting work and going to check out their bucket list now is the time. If you yourself obviously can do that, you already know. If you can do that, and you haven't done it yet, now is the time to quit. If you have a property, sell all that shit, fuck it, and let's, other than if you kind of, do a little off grid there, and or even, like we're doing, have a little trailer, I want some solar for the car, an inverter for the car, so that we regulate our during we're sleeping in there, and or with a little teardrop trailer, whatever direction we end up going, long run, or there is a long run. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say, wanted to do a quick live stream, say hey to everybody, kind of update on our move, and also where I kind of feel where we're at in collabs. I've got a lot of friends that are really, really struggling. They're stressed. They're sad. They feel this is the end, and unfortunately, I think they're right. I don't have any arguments that they're wrong in their gut feelings. So we're all there. We're all um, we're I want to talk about a couple of good info I got about Exit. Um, so obviously, the rebreather, Dr. Nitschke is saying to quote him, use with caution. How the fuck do you use an exit device, peaceful exit device, with caution? That makes absolutely no sense. Either it works or it doesn't work. It's operator error, system failure because of a defective part, or collectively altogether, it just doesn't fucking work. And after a Zoom with Nitschke, uh, and that Zoom has been released, it's no longer private, and it's been edited. So a lot of this shit is edited, which I thought was wrong, especially the stuff that I was really glad I was there for the live um, the live meeting. I'm really glad I was there for that, because the stuff edited out was stuff that you all should really fucked it up the way they, in my opinion. That was Hemlock Society of San Diego, who hosted the meeting, had Dr. Philip Mischke on. He basically said that they have no known successes with the rebreather. Now, the debreather, the first version, the debreather, I think they did, but the rebreather, no known successful attempt. Good. It doesn't. It tells me that's not good at all. So I've, my friends and I have been talking more about sodium nitrite. Oh, the problem with sodium nitrite is you need to mix up two doses of it, because you may vomit it. If you vomit it, then there's a gas that salt mixes. It's a gas. If you inhale that gas, let's say you're vomiting breath, that gas will fuck you up. So that's dangerous. So bottom line, you don't want to vomit if you're using the sodium nitrite. So I was recommended a couple of anti-nausea drugs that I want to share. Where here we go. So promethazine and is this even it? Okay. Yes. Okay. Ondansetron. Ondansetron is one. It's a medical prescription only, as is promethazine. Those two drugs highly recommended. Uh, some friends and I of the channel were having a private Zoom meeting. So that's the kind of the Zoom meetings that we do on Tuesdays, and we do them sporadically too. Like I had another and needed to, so we did a Monday and Tuesday we do the regular one. And if you guys need to talk, and of course you want to be recorded, you don't want to come on, well, totally get it. And it's most people can't talk about this stuff publicly, fear their family or lose a job or get an FBI or the CIA. I pretty much, because it's over, and I've done what I'm going to do in life. And one more thing, it's to I and share information on exiting peacefully. I think if I can help one person, and I'm a student myself. I've always known that I don't want to suffer in the end. I want to make it as far into the end as I possibly can, financially, or due to health or habitat, or live as long as I can. But there's factors that come in. Sometimes it's time to up, and very soon for everyone, it's going to be back out. There won't be a habitable planet. There won't be food. There won't be mass chaos. There won't be water. Again, just mass chaos. Even like Kevin Hester talked about war. Even the men are raped in war. Even men are raped, not just women and children. It's my little puckered star. My little virgin puckered star is in danger as well. So I ain't party knowledge. It gets that desperate. I'm have a method that works. I'm also trying to gather all the materials to make my own inert gas mask, possibly even using the mask from the rebreather. Since the rebreather I'm not going to throw it away. because I may be able to use the mask and some of the for my inner mask. So working on that too. Once you know, money's been super tight for me for my entire life. But once we get the house sold, uh, you know, then I'll have some freedom to try to go buy some things, have the time, I'll have the resources, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my goal. The drink of the night is rum and sweet tea because I'm all out of cranberry juice and other mixes. So rum and sweet tea, fucking not bad actually. It's not as bad as you would think. And it works too. I'm a little lit. So trying to think if there's anything else I need to add on with you guys. Yeah, I talked about the anti-nausea drugs. Share that with you all because I think that's really important. If you need to know the spellings, let me do that. Let me spell it out for you. So the promethazine is P-R-O, meth, M-E-T-H-A-Z-I-N-E, promethazine. And the other anti-nausea drug is ondansetron. So spelling of that is ONDANSETRON. Sorry, I know I say way too much. It annoys the shit out of me that I do that. And I try, I just did it again. I try to all the time. But yeah, work of art. They did edit a lot from that Zoom with Dr. Nitsky. So you were there. You were there then for that. Oh, and work of art is also saying Zofran. Zofran is, I think, the common name for one of the drugs I was mentioning. Uh, yeah, Zofran is the common name for the ondansetron. Ondansetron. Yeah, Zofran is a common name for that. Also, Zooplans, ODT. And with the promethazine, the common name is phenidose, spelled with a PH, phenidose, ending in DOZ, promethazine, and Energen. And if anybody needs, you know, any help with that, you know, drop a comment, a question in the comments, or private message. Email me, and I can verify that for you too. And yeah, if you please welcome, please join my, you know, our private Zoom meetings that we do. I've finally got my email list set up where it's all BCC. I got a BCC list so that you're not seeing everyone else's email list. Everybody's private. That's good, you know, good and safe for you guys. I try to look out for you guys as best as I can as well. And that's one thing I know can be an issue when you share everybody's email address in a mass email. You know, it can get that, and I understand. I don't blame them, and I apologize for doing that in the past, but I've got that figured out now. So yeah, get my email list, and I will add you to our private Zoom links. Again, that's every Tuesday we do those. And when I say every Tuesday, things are going to be different from here on out. I'm not really going to know where I'm going to be from one week to the next. Even, you know, chasing motorcycle races get rained out, and we might be on the road and find out we might not have left yet and find out they got rained out. The schedule is going to be kind of wonky because, you know, I'm not, you know, things are just going to be totally changed up. I'm hoping to some kind of device to put into my laptop, where even on the road I can just get internet service, live streams and stuff from the road, and our Zooms, our private Zooms. I'm going to be working on getting all that figured out. And because I still want to be, I want to be here every week with you guys on at least Tuesdays on the private Zoom, Fridays on the live streams. Especially if it helps you guys, it helps me well, because we all need community at the end. It is fucked, man. It's really scary. And I know you got a lot of you guys are having a hard time. A lot of you reached out to me, and I understand it, man. I totally get it. It's really, really scary times. We don't have much time left. We don't have, I don't think we have 2 summers left fast. I don't think we have enough fuel to go around to keep the storage stocked and everything afloat and maintaining somewhat level of normalcy for another, for another 2 summers. But that aside, I just don't that we have we could all bake this summer. So the planet is just breaking down so quickly with the loss of the ice melt on both poles, uh, and the jet streams wonky on hemispheres. Uh, it's just really is tell in the future is just failure, crop failure, the collapse of everything. Uh, you know, you guys know you get it. So thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys. Practice track at yahoo.com. Email me. I'll put you on the list so you can get on the private Zooms. Those have been going really good. We laugh. We talk about our hardships, our frustrations, our relive our past and current, and talk about how to deal with this. It's all there's no topic off limits, obviously. You know, human collapse talks in these Zooms. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Yeah, look for a wonky schedule. I don't know that I'll even be able to announce a lot of, pre-announce a lot of live streams. Just don't know where we're going to be. Racing season for me starts up next weekend. So I'm going to be going quite a bit, but I will have weekends off. And I look forward to seeing you guys still as much as possible, because you guys help me make it through the day and give me purpose and joy. And I really appreciate that. So have a weekend, have a rest of your week.